Hello folks and welcome to Monday's edition of Magoo Sports News. Quite a bit of sport on at the weekend, so I'll crack on and get straight into it. So folks, the headlines this weekend. Basically in the Premiership, both Manchesters won to maintain a 100% record in the league. Chelsea and Liverpool both won as well. And that is looking like the top four. You've got Man U, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool. So I don't think it will be far off seeing those four teams in the top four. Now I have to mention Arsenal's humiliating defeat to Manchester United. But to be fair, what do you expect? You have a guy at right back who was playing non-league football the same time next year. Only 3 players from Arsenal were senior players. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So Arsenal are set for a miserable time. They're going to get mauled in the Champions League. So on to the SPL, and basically Cali Thistle, yes, we got our first win of the season. A wee bit lucky, but never mind. 3 points is 3 points and moves us up the table. Hibernian are now bottom and Aberdeen second bottom, so up yours, sheepshaggers. Now, onto the Rugby League, and it was the Challenge Cup final. Wigan beat Leeds 28-18. Basically, Wigan were the stronger team and were front runners. Leeds just couldn't respond. So, into the Formula 1, and basically Sebastian Vettel won the Belgium Grand Prix, and it pretty much confirms him as the champion of the Formula 1 season. Anybody else says otherwise, they're pretty much kidding themselves. So into the golf, and Thomas Bjorn won the Johnny Walker Championship. Bit of an exciting finish to this championship because 5 players went into the playoffs, and it took until the 5th playoff hole for them to win, so great result for Thomas Bjorn, he came out on top. And Dustin Johnson won the Barclays, which of course is the first tournament of the FedEx Cup, so he's on his way to winning that $10 million prize. Now into the Rugby Union, and the Tri-Nations final game was on, and New Zealand got beaten by Australia. Australia won 25-20, and they went on, and that's their first Tri-Nations since 2001. Another World Cup warm-up game. England played Ireland in Dublin and they won 20-9. So basically England go through to the World Cup with a lot of confidence, as do Australia, which the World Cup starts of course in 2 weeks time. Have to mention a young fella for England, Manu Tuilangi. This guy is Samoan born, but he's a powerhouse, so watch out for him. And that's all the sport folks. It was a great weekend of sport, hope you enjoyed it. So folks, what have we got coming up this week? Well, to be honest with you, not a hell of a lot. Because we've got the internationals next weekend, there's no football on at all. So basically the only real sport that I would suggest you watch is of course the US Open for the tennis. It is the last major of the year, Andy Murray's last chance for this year to win something. Anyway, to win a major should I say. Andy Murray gets off on Tuesday. He plays Indian fella Sunday Devarman, so you'd expect him to win that game. He reckons he's the fittest he is or fittest he has been for a long time. Now the thing is, he's only played about 5 matches since Wimbledon, so you'd think he'd have plenty of energy for this tournament. So we'll see how he gets on. That's on from 4 o'clock in the afternoon every day until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's basically all the sport I can recommend you watch this week, so hopefully you've got something better to do. So folks, into the fantasy football, and an interesting week I tell you. First and foremost, Magoo Sports News top scored to keep the pressure up on the reluctant 11. It was a big scoring week. If you had Manchester United and Manchester City's players in, then you did well. So Top Block also scored really well, so he's up into 4th, which goes to show that you can have a bad week, because obviously Top Block missed a player out in the first week and didn't score any points, but he's now up into 4th. Daisy's dad's dream is bottom. My commiserations, but never mind. So what's going to be very interesting coming up is the Champions League. Obviously, everyone's got Man United, Man City players in there. When the Champions League comes around, players will be rested. That's when things will start to get interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And there's the table, obviously, that's been up. So interesting table. And we've got a week off next week, so you don't need to change your team now for another week and a bit. So folks, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching Magoo Sports News. I am, as always, Magoo. See you guys on Friday, where I'm going to be talking about all the sports, and I might have a wee preview for the Rugby World Cup. See you guys then.